Hey guys, it's Heather from Here She Grows, and it's February 1st. It's a gorgeous 50 degrees out here, and I want to take advantage of this beautiful weather because it's not going to be around for long. It's most definitely going to get cold and rainy and snowy all over again. But since it's so nice and warm, I want to capture all of that warmth that's in my beds right now because I have a goal. I want to be able to serve my family a beautiful salad for Easter Sunday. So Easter is early this year. I believe it's March 31st. We have the whole family over. My family will not eat store-bought salad greens. We had a horrible experience many years ago. Everybody got sick, and it's one of those things you never forget, and you never want to eat store-bought greens again. So we grow our own. But this year I want to start it earlier so that I can serve my family a beautiful salad for Easter Sunday. So in order to do that, the soil is really cold right now. In order to do that in my raised beds, I need to raise those soil temperatures a little bit so that I can plant out at the end of February, maybe early March. So to do that, there's a couple different ways you can do it. The first way I do that is with the layer of leaves that I put down in October. So the leaf layer is about 6 inches of leaf matter that just goes on the top, and what that does, not only does it break down into the soil, but it also works as an insulator. So it really helps to moderate those extreme temperature fluctuations in the soil. Yes, it's going to freeze and everything, of course. The soil, these raised beds do freeze quickly, but they also warm up really fast. The only bed that I mulch in December is whatever bed that I've put my garlic in. I want to make sure that those garlic bulbs that I planted back in October are exposed to plenty of sun, plenty of moisture so they get watered in well, and then the leaf layer, about 6 inches of leaves, goes on top of that. So the leaves will break down in the soil, not completely, but the other thing I can do is go in with plastic, and what plastic will do is work as an insulator. It'll capture all of the heat, it'll keep out the snow and the cold rain and the ice and all of those things. And you could use black plastic or clear plastic. They both accomplish the same thing, work a little differently. So the clear plastic lets the warmth and the light penetrate straight through it, whereas the black plastic absorbs all that warmth and then transfers it into the soil. They both achieve the same goal. So I have black plastic, that's what I'm gonna use, and I'm just gonna put it on my beds. I'm only gonna do one of my raised beds and one of my Vigo beds because those are gonna be the places where I'm putting my cold crops like my carrots, my beets, my radishes, lettuces, arugula, spinach, all of those great things. So first I'm just gonna clear away some of these sticks that I've accumulated on the beds. I gather up the sticks that fall out of my trees in the wintertime because I like to use them as trellising for my snap peas. Let's get after it. I think it'd be fun too to see what the soil temperature is right now before we cover it. If you have a soil thermometer, great. If all you have is a meat thermometer, you can use that too. I'm using my husband's grill thermometer, and that'll give you a pretty accurate read as well. So all I want is a ballpark. I think it'll be fun to compare that to the temperature that it will be in 4 weeks after it's been covered for a while and right before I'm ready to plant. So let's see what we're at. When I'm taking the soil temperature, I like to leave it in there for a minute before I take the reading. It's been about a minute. It looks like we're at 33.3 degrees, so pretty chilly. An ideal soil temperature to start cold climate greens like your lettuces, spinach, arugula is about, I usually aim for about 40 degrees. Some can take 35 for direct sowing, but because we're going to cover this in black plastic and I am going to create some low tunnels here, I should be pretty warm by the time I plant in about 4 weeks. So let's get them covered. The only thing I need to be careful of is that I don't suffocate my sage here. So I am going to tuck the plastic in around it, and I'm just going to anchor it down with some bricks. It gets really, really windy back here, and I don't want it to blow up. So I'm just going to cut the plastic to size to fit this and my Vigo bed over here, and then call it a day and wait for things to warm up. And I'm just going to cut off some of the excess here, and then I can use that over on my Vigo bed. It's such a fun thing to do too, and finally get out I don't know about you, but getting a little sun on my face in the wintertime, especially in February. February is such a drag, but I like to take any opportunity I can to get out into the garden anywhere and do something, especially on a day like this, because these are few and far between. And February, for me, is the hardest month. What do I do with my scissors? Are you kidding me? I must be losing it. Can I leave it? This happens with pruners too. I set things down and next thing you know I can't find them, and then I find them months later. So I have no idea what I did with my scissors. Haha. Make a mental note that I put the scissors right there. Let's do the Vigo bed. This bed here is the 17-inch tall children's first garden bed from Vigo Garden, and I find that it's a perfect fit for this little tight corner in my garden. I decided after installing this last year and watching how the sunlight hit it, it gets a little more protection than the rest of the garden because it's got the cover of the pussy willow tree behind it. So it makes it a perfect salad green bed. So it gets a little sunlight protection. It's not getting that hard full-on sun, so lettuces are not going to bolt as quickly. I mean, I'll be growing heat-tolerant lettuces too, so that helps as well. So I think this is a perfect spot for my lettuces all summer. I try to limit the amount of plastic that I use in my garden, and I've always had this piece of plastic which I've used every year. But if you're going to go out and buy plastic for this purpose, I recommend getting greenhouse grade plastic. Plastic sheeting that's not greenhouse grade decomposes quickly under UV light. So getting the greenhouse grade plastic means that you're not having to buy plastic every year, and it's less that we're adding to the landfill. So the greenhouse grade plastic will give you about 4 years, give or take. So it's better than if you were to just get sheeting that's going to last a season and then you're pitching it in the garden again. But I've had this black plastic for years, so I just keep reusing it. But when I build my low tunnels, I use the greenhouse grade plastic. This is how I get a head start on my growing season, and I should be able to sow all my seedlings, my lettuce seedlings, and direct sow some radishes in here in a few weeks, which is super exciting. And there might be snow everywhere, who knows, but this will definitely raise the soil temperature. What were we, 33? About 33 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm gonna give it 4 weeks to really get nice and toasty in there. Check the soil temperature. I'm gonna get some low tunnels in here too, but not for a few more weeks yet. But this is my first step in warming up the soil so that I can be planting my fresh veg garden sooner than later. I don't know about you, but I'll take any opportunity to jumpstart the season, and a little bit of plastic and some rocks is going to do it for me. I'll be planting sooner than later, and what's not to like about that? So I'm really excited to serve my family a beautiful homegrown salad on Easter Sunday, and this is going to help me do it. So I'll be putting the seedlings in sometime around the end of February and hopefully be able to harvest a big bowl of salad by the end of March. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.